What is up, guys? JD here, and today we will be talking about the problem with megachurches. This is a series I'm going to start. I'm just going to be talking about theology while I play Minecraft. Yes, I'm copying this from Redeem Zoomer. I tried to do with other games. My favorite video game series is Metroid, and that does not make for a very good thing to talk about theology with, turns out. It is slightly gross with the aliens. But we will be playing Minecraft. We'll talk about theology, like I said. Today's episode is about the problem with megachurches. Now, I'm not approaching this as an outsider. I did and still go to a megachurch. I don't like it, but until I get my driver's license, I'll have to be stuck with it. What? This game is so laggy. I'm playing on Switch because I don't feel like buying it for my computer. Alright. Ooh, look at this. This is nice. That looks like the average evangelical church nowadays. Yeah, like I said, today's episode will be about the problem with megachurches, and now megachurches doesn't just mean non-denominational Joel Osteen type stuff. I mean, there are plenty of megachurches that still are theologically decent, but iffy in a lot of other places. Okay, this is Village, great. Oh, and is that Temple? Nice. The first issue that I have with megachurches is the music style. Typically, they have contemporary music, which, let's be honest, just sounds like Taylor Swift and but back to megachurches. The music is designed for like 1 to 3 people on stage to be singing it, and I mean a lot of times the people, aka the soccer moms, in the crowd will get into it, but it doesn't really. Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. I say this. It sounds like I faked this. I legit didn't. This is the first time I've seen this biome. And whereas hymns are designed for a whole congregation to sing, like the only time that somebody will be up on stage or up at the front when you sing hymns is if there's a church choir, which I'm perfectly fine with. It's just volunteers from the church wanting to spend more time, and it's still like a communal thing. It doesn't feel like it's just one person up there. It's not really meant for a power trip, but it can kind of turn into that, which is a big problem. And like, I mean, if you didn't know, this is the first theology video I've made. I don't know why you'd know. I currently go to that Lutheran large church, big boned, and I'm not Lutheran theologically, but that wouldn't be an issue to split from the church. It's more of the megachurch aspect of it that I really don't like. And as a typical Presbyterian, whenever I worship in church, at least, I mean, I'm an animal when some Christian hip hop comes on. I just stand there and don't really get into it. I don't even sing it just because I hate the style, and I don't feel like it's really worship. And the whole thing with contemporary music, with the whole made for solo versus made for congregation, a good pastor friend of mine, told me about. I'm gonna probably have to cut out his name, just bleep that out in post. I met with him a little bit ago, and he told me why I have all these issues with the megachurch-ness, and that's that the whole made for congregation versus made for soloist thing kind of came from him. So shout out the guy whose name I will bleep out, and if I don't, I just doxed myself, so that's fun. Oh, I didn't know that they actually added frogs to the game. I thought that was just a rumor. Alright, well, I looked up I looked at pictures of churches in Minecraft, and even though I loved what Redeemed Zoomer has in his world, I am not that good at Minecraft. But I am not up for that. I'm going for more of a, not to stereotype Baptists, but that rural Baptist look where it's kind of a rectangle and then it leads up to a point in the very front that has a cross on it. That kind of look. The other issue that I have with mega churches that the pastor pointed out to me as well is that you don't really know everybody in your congregation. You can't be close with everybody in your congregation, even at small churches. That's just impossible for humans to have. You can only have a couple serious relationships in your life where you're really close with somebody naturally. But even just like knowing the names of the people in your congregation, something as simple as that, or even just percentage that you know. I know probably 0.01% of the people that go to my church, and that's not healthy. It's best. I mean, ideally you'd like to know everybody, but I mean, even just 50%, it's really not a good thing, and that kind of that blocks off your ability to be a church, because anytime I talk with my brother about theology or the mega churchness of the church we go to, he's always like, the church isn't just a building, it's people, and so it doesn't matter what the building looks like, which it does, but you can't even know the people that go there because there's so many that it's impossible, which I really don't like. So it's like you go to a stadium to hear a preacher. I mean, the preaching's good. It's not like Joel Osteen, but you don't really connect with anybody there. And they try to like implement it not retroactively, but like try to put it in artificially, where it's like you can get these hobby groups and men's group or whatever, and it's like that's great for a church to have, but wouldn't it be best if you could just have that on the one day that everybody's there, which is Sunday, because not everybody has the time to go to church in the middle of the week. And I mean, I do think youth group should be a separate thing, and they have that, which is good, but I mean confirmation specifically, because I'm Protestant no matter what, whether I'm Lutheran or Presbyterian. And I'm really close with the people that I went to that I had my youth group with their confirmation, but is still, you just don't know anybody. And then the other issues with the streaming, so it's just whatever's most convenient for you. And sometimes it is nice if you can, if somebody's in the hospital and you can like videotape the sermon and give it to them so that they can be a part of it. But that's a very rare circumstance, and most of the time it just gets abused. So people just have an excuse not to go to church. They're like, did you go to church? No, I watched it. Well, that's very different. And I mean, and there's going to be a church near you, no matter what. Even if you don't agree with them completely theologically, that's fine. I say that as I talk about theology, but it's really secondary as long as they're not heretics, of course. But it doesn't really make that big of a deal. Ooh, this is going to be nice so I can see out. Now I put my controller down, I just talk. This is going to be kind of boring. I should really make a bed. The other issue with megachurches, they can kind of tend to care a lot about the numbers. Like we had confirmation baptisms one night, and somehow the next Sunday they knew exactly how many there were. And it's like that's why I didn't, part of the reason why I didn't want to get baptized then. I mean, of course, under a Presbyterian school of thought, you only get baptized once. But even when I hadn't really gotten into theology, I still kind of wanted to be baptized again, but they care so much about the numbers. And then there was also like Christmas service one year, they filled everything, and we had to go to some other room, and we just left because we didn't want to be part of this Instagram statistic like, oh, we filled our worship center and these other rooms. So I don't want to just fuel this kind of corporate greed. And then they had some building campaign last fall, and they revealed exactly how much money they got, which, I mean, that in itself isn't as bad, but they kind of played a whole game with it. Like, they had people come up on stage holding signs, and then they flipped them around, and, oh, there are more zeros. Now, I don't care, just tell me that we got enough to do what we were planning. Like, I don't care that you got 5 times as much money as you already needed. The other big issue with megachurches is you can't really kind of tell their theology. Like, they call themselves Lutheran, but they don't teach physical presence. They don't hold to any Lutheran doctrine. I don't even know if they have a church government. And maybe I just need to dig deeper. I already met with the Presbyterian pastor, so now I'm gonna meet with the Lutheran pastor. I was watching a lot of Redeem Zoomer, and I was like, I find myself becoming Lutheran. So now I'm kind of listening to more Jordan B. Cooper to just see if I'm being pulled by whatever I consume. But I'm gonna talk to a Lutheran pastor at that church, and maybe they just have a hidden church government. But that even isn't that good, because if it's hidden, then how do members of the congregation get into it? And I mean, I don't know exactly how Episcopal governments work. If you can't be a member of the congregation, and also, like, you can't just be a member of the congregation and then go right to a bishop. Maybe you have to be a pastor first or be a member of the staff, but I haven't studied Lutheranism too heavily. I mean, I have to figure out what I disagree with, but once I figured that out, I'm like, I'll just be Presbyterian. And I have more heavily studied Presbyterian theology. Oh, and the sacraments. So this kind of does tie into the baptism thing, where they knew exactly how many there were, which I really, really did not like. It was like 128. And that's, okay. Chill. You only, I shouldn't say that. There were some people there that probably got baptized because they really believed, but a lot of it was just their moms wanting a Instagram post. And then the other thing, the whole plastic cup with the wafer isn't that big of a deal breaker for me. But pair that with their whole local site thing, which is basically a group of people, if there are enough there, they'll just like send out materials and you can get together and watch it together. Which if you're going to already encourage the whole streaming thing, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I would rather not have that problem in the first place, have to do that. But then they have the communion, so it's just like we're sitting in some restaurant bar, drinking grape juice and having a cracker. It's like that just didn't feel right to me. I mean, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I just already don't want to be there, so I'm looking for excuses, but it just didn't. Oh, that's an Enderman, that's fun. Maybe it was me, but it didn't feel right. So, recapping, let me see if I hit all my points. The music isn't designed for a congregation. You can't hardly know even close to half of the people there, not even close to like 10% of them. It encourages corporate greed. You don't know what they believe. The church government is kind of just ruled by the senior pastor. I'll dive more into the thing with the senior pastor being the king of the church, being the pope, if you will. It just kind of seems like he's always there and has all these yes men around him. And I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a central head of the church. Not like that it's an infallible, but like the Pope is. But I think it's good to have like a father of the church, of your church, like just the somebody that unites everybody. I think that's a good thing. But it almost feels intimidating to talk to the pastor. And at one point we went to some rural Nazarene church. It was a great church. The pastor left because his family had to move to, and that really sucked for him. But I mean, great pastor. I loved him. And it feels like I could always just talk to him. But it's not really that way with the mega churches. It seems like you're meeting some celebrity when you talk to the pastor, which is not good. And I think that's all the point. That's everything that I wanted to talk about. And the sun's coming up, I think. I'll wait for the sun to come up. That is it for today's video. I will see you guys next time. Next time I will probably make a video about why I'm not Lutheran, or why I'm converting from Lutheranism to Presbyterianism. I have never actually ridden a camel in this game. I've ridden a horse like twice because saddles are so hard to find. I mean, I've gotten on them before, but never had control of them. Alright, I will see you guys next time with why I'm converting to Presbyterianism. Bye.